Hello and welcome to part 9 of my Championship Lode Runner video walkthrough for the Apple here on YouTube. In this video I will complete levels 41 through 45. This is the third longest video in the series in terms of gameplay, even with one very quick level. The others have some grinding involved once you've had the proper insight. Level 41 seems very simple, but getting out is a very devious puzzle indeed. The RNG may delay your escape, but the puzzle to prepare things is one of the very best in the game. Level 42 has all manner of odd chambers that force you to find fancy digging for each gold chest. Level 43 is a stack 'em up with a clever twist. While it may take a while for enemies to fall where you want, strategies to win and speed things up are fun to find. Level 44 is super quick once you know what to do, but until then it looks like a total mess. You'll probably have to sacrifice a life to see where the level stairs appear, then replan your run through. Level 45 doesn't have anything too terribly tricky, but it does allow you a slow or quick path to get some buried chests, and I enjoy how you have to use one enemy to get a few chests before killing them. Okay, this is a rather funny level because it seems pretty easy to get the gold chests, and then it seems impossible to get out. You may notice I'm not taking that gold chest to the left. That's because I need it for later. I need it to be the last one that I take after I put the enemies into the buckets at the top. I haven't had good luck doing so far, but you just gotta keep digging. And once the enemies, there's 1 out of 3. Once the enemies are in those 3 buckets, you can get the last gold chest and hopefully be in time to walk all over them to get to the top. So what we're doing here is, there we go, 2 out of 3. The third one's always the least likely. There we go. What I did was I let the enemy take the gold chest, then go to the upper left where they'd spin around and eventually leave the gold chest where they couldn't take it. So now I'll get everything else. I'll dig for the enemy. And yeah, there's going to be some RNG here. I suppose I could cut things out, but yeah, the basic idea is the last one is the toughest one to get because you might have, say, 3 squares that are possible for the first one, then 2 squares possible for the second one, but for the last one it has to go in 1 square. If it pops up above a U that's already filled, then they're going to just run away. So there shouldn't be too much more of this. I'm seeing 3 minutes as the level run time. And maybe it's not the worst thing to show how to attack where the enemies fall. And we can see they're somewhere where we've already got a guy in the U. And a lot of times you can just kind of wait around and get them in a pit quickly. So eventually the enemy will fall in. There they go. And now what I'm going to do is get the gold chest in the left, and I just dug so I'd stop and wait and I can run over to the right. Now I need to pause a bit before running over the second one. Again, digging works well. If I go too soon, I will step on them, and then the third one's not bad at all, and we win. It seems too easy to get all the chests here, and then the passage up can't be too bad, right? Well, not quite. I think the playthrough revealed what is the most important thing. That is, you need to line the enemies up so that you can run over all 3 of them to get to the end of level ladder on the right. It seems really mean that it's there until you realize the level would be too easy, and then when you figure what to do, it's a real sense of accomplishment. Also, the rest of the end of level ladders are just red herrings. Sorry for starting the video late here somehow. I just ran right and then dug below that, and then I dug right from the ladder as I went down, and then there were 4 horizontal floors that I dug. Now here from this ladder, I dig the top, the second top, and then the third top, and then while I'm waiting for them to heal, I dig the fourth, and then I dig the third after it fills up. That gets me that one chest safely. Then from the ladder where I started, I dig left and make my way down to the bottom, where I can go up the ladder and dig left. Now from the left ladder, I dig 4 times down right, wait for the top brick to reform, dig right, and then you see dig right twice, fall, dig right, and get the next gold chest. Now once the upper brick reforms, I can go into the structure in the center. You notice digging the one brick over the ladder allows me to go down it and go back up safely. If I move around pretty quickly, back up, right, and down. And now I go to the top of the structure again, except this time I will wind up digging left from the ladder 3 times. Fall, dig left, fall and dig left, and then dig left and right, left, left, and then right. And now we dig right here. The guy with the chest falls in, we get credit for it, and then we just win the level. The end of level ladders don't help you get through the level, since you need to figure how to cycle through the area before they appear. Also, the false floors aren't particularly relevant. I'm not sure why they're there, but it's useful to know there are no false floors that may force you to change your plans to get through the level. This is a symmetrical level, so there is a bit of repetition, but it's still pretty entertaining and fun. You will probably see what's going on pretty quickly once the enemies start regenerating. They're going to fall into the 3 wide pits, and what you need to do is have enemies fall all on one side pit, and then the 4th or 5th enemy will be able to see you when you go to the center. They'll run at you and get the gold chest, and then you release the enemies, and that enemy with the gold chest will run back. There is a small wrinkle here. You want to make sure that they actually keep it, so you do not want to release the enemies right away. And here we just wait to see which side the enemies are more likely to drop into, and then we dig them out of the other side and keep digging until everybody's in there. Actually, this is nice. I'm going to be able to get away with having only 4 enemies stuck in the 3 wide, which will save a bit of time. And now I'm going to let them go here, and I'll worry about that 1 gold below me later. It's not critical. It can be done at any time. However, I probably want to release the enemy that's stuck in the well here because I want as many chances as possible to dump guys in the left. And of course, rather, yes, in the left. We want to get rid of the guys in the right as well, but we also want some time to get the gold chests we couldn't before. And once we know that the enemy is trapped, we can just move on to the next ones. Here we're having a lot of enemies dumped in the right, but that's okay. Eventually, the RNG will see things our way. You can see I'm just kind of going up and down to ensure that I only need those 3 holes. And okay, we got 3 over on the left. We're going to need 5 because one of the enemies ran at me. But it shouldn't be too bad to just keep digging holes. We're going to have kind of lousy RNG here. It's going to be another minute, and I didn't feel like cutting that. Maybe I should have. But yeah, the last one's always going to be a problem because when you have 2 guys that you trap, oh, there we go. When you have 2 guys that you trap, you have, well, not quite double, but more chance that somebody will fall off where you want them to than if you just have to dig that one final guy. And you can see you want to make sure the guy on top actually takes the gold chest, otherwise you'll have to do everything again, and that's a pain. So, the nice part about releasing them is that you have a lot of rope to move back and dig holes defensively and get that final gold chest. And I could just kind of go down and up if I wanted to make sure everyone got trapped. And here I can finally go a bit forward so I can skip over, dig the final guy, and win. The false floors on each edge are there to prevent enemies from falling out of the cement chambers. If they were regular floors, enemies could get trapped in the upper left or right and lock you out of winning. Since you need to kill and regenerate enemies in this level to win, that would introduce an unacceptable random event. The developers could have filled the area in with bricks or cement, but that would have been ugly. The end of level ladders are overall useful. Without them you couldn't reach the top, but also when they appear, the enemies get out of the pit and regenerated ones provide a temporary nuisance as you get to the top, but you should be able to dig past them easily. This is no problem once you know what to do, but figuring out is pretty tough. Here you can see we just kind of dig down from the central ladder to get the first gold, but the second gold we start way on the left and sweep right. This is counterintuitive as we expect to find a way back, but we don't have the time with the gold buried that much. And that's true, we have no way back, but it is the ladders that appear after the level which will help us. You will note too that the ladder on the left is useless. The ladder in the upper right is also useless. We cannot reach it from the rope, but fortunately the broken ladder in the right upper center works. False floors might make this even messier, so it's nice we don't have them to worry about as well. The end of level ladders, of which there are 3, are interesting. 2 of them are red herrings, but the third is necessary to escape. The left chest isn't trivial, but doesn't require anything too fancy. For the right one, the main concern is how to get out, and because there are no false floors to fall through in the lower right, you need to rely on somewhere else. Before you see the end of level ladders, there's tension too. You need at least one. And where will it appear? The upper right is a tease, as the instinct is to fall below the lower right chest you just got, but in fact you need to backtrack. The upper left end of level ladder is useless. Here you may be paid off for indulging in a bit of hope. The broken ladder halfway up the screen from the second gold chest might be it, and it indeed gains a rung, and with some backtracking and falling, you can escape. It's an unusual way to retreat before going back up, and it might not be easy to find if you're feeling time pressure. I think the first time I got both chests, I didn't see the way out and was trapped, but I stared at the screen until I found the right path. Okay, so in this level we will dig over a bunch of gold chests to get them. It feels like we've seen this before, particularly in level 23 where we do the dig, down, wait, dig, down, wait, and so forth. And so the top few gold chests are no big deal. I suppose if I'd really wanted to go quickly, I could have dug over that gold chest before, but I do need to take 2 times to get the 2 remaining gold chests. This one is obviously a bit trickier since it's farther away, but it's not too bad. And then we just dig down to the left, and I don't know why I dug right there. I must have had a finger slip, but that almost cost me the chance to get out quickly as I dig down. Now, I will make a mistake over here, actually, a couple. The first is that it is possible to get both of the gold chests in one movement. However, you'll notice I slip up, and once I realize I slipped up, I just kind of back out of the whole deal. You can see I shouldn't have dug over the ladder. I wanted to dig one right, but it didn't happen. So there's a lot of just waiting, and then digging, and then you can see digging here, and we make it outside again, and we exit in plenty of time if we get the gold chests separately. If we get them all at once, that's an interesting puzzle, but I chose not to go that way. Now, you notice that I went to the bottom and stayed there, so the enemy chased me. I'm going to dig a hole for the enemy, then I'm going to go up the ladder and fall on them, remembering to push up before I push right so that I don't actually fall into them and lose a life. Then I can just wait here, get the gold chest below. I'm going to need 4 trips, and I'm actually going to slip up on one. One to get the upper left gold, one for the lower right gold, and one for the gold on the second row, and one for the lower left gold. There's nothing very deep about any of these. And I also decided to trap the enemy first since he's no longer useful. And you'll notice I messed up here. I should dig below the gold chest that I just got, but instead I dug to the right. So that'll cost us a bit of time. And I might as well pick up the upper left gold while the holes are healing. And then here you just dig down 2, 1, 1, 1, and then dig 1 to the right to fall onto that gold. And we're going to do it right this time. 3 digs, then 2 digs, and so forth until we can dig right above the gold. Then we can fall in. Actually, you only needed to dig once. And there we go, level 45. By now, you probably guessed that an end-of-level ladder will appear to connect the big one in the right and the center one that reaches to the top. It's pretty obvious what you have to do here. Clear the left and then clear the right, and there aren't any false floors to make the right upper structure any easier to pick off. They might make the lower right impossible. This level has enough going on without them. That's all there is to this video. Thanks for watching through, and if you enjoyed this enough, giving a like or subscribing if you haven't already goes a long way in encouraging me to share more videos of fun games you may want to revisit or didn't realize you missed. See you next video.